Hello, New Life. So I am on my way home from Raleigh, from visiting Ruthie, and I just decided to stop and do some walking. I'm in Spencer, near Spencer, North Carolina, and there's a trail running over here behind me along the Yadkin River, or actually goes over the Yadkin River. But as I was walking along, I saw this church, like I saw the steeple of this church in the background. Now, this church actually looks completely abandoned. I don't know that you can see it from here, but right here on the stained glass there, it says Yadkin Methodist Church. There's a cornerstone on it that says 1939 ME, Yadkin ME Church. ME is Methodist Episcopal. So it looks abandoned. There's nothing on the sign here. There's a couple of letters. I'm trying to figure out what it may have spelled at one point. But right over here to this side, there's a big, huge parking lot. Apparently I don't know, because this is what's interesting to me, right? So right here behind me is the ruins of what must have been a like a mill. This water tower. Where am I pointing? This water tower right here says North Carolina Finishing Company. So what that probably means is that there was mills here at some point. Hence all the parking lots. There's a parking lot over here. There's a parking lot over there. There was one I passed over this way. That are all empty and overgrown now, because there must have been a mill here at some point where they sent dry goods to be finished up before they got shipped. Probably part of the Cannon Mills thing. So it is more than likely. So Methodist Episcopal is usually an African American denomination. This church at some point was built here in the 1930s, 1939, pre-World War I, to service the community that worked at this factory right back here behind me. Right over here, there's a big empty lot. There may have been houses here. I'm sure if I drove back this way, there's probably still some mill houses that exist. And it was very common for mills. People would work at the mill. They would shop near the mill. Everything would have been right here. And so this church would have served this community. The reason I bring this up, at the men's fellowship on the other day, this past Saturday, we were talking about churches dying. This church, I walked around it. There's some broken glass. It looks completely abandoned. There is a newer-ish AC unit on one side, so it may be that there's some people that still come and meet here. But pretty sure this is mostly abandoned. And that's sad to me. Churches that die. Now, this one died probably because the people that worked here quit working here and moved away. But, there's not a lot of houses that I can see nearby here. Two things that are sad. It always hurts my heart when I see a congregation die, because the people that started this church in 1939, I doubt, thought, hey, not even 100 years later, this church is just going to be empty and dead. And that makes me sad, to think about, other than the fact that the community moved, what other things may have caused this church to wind up closing its doors. But in addition to that, and I understand this, so I'm going to make, this is a point that I'm going to make, but there's several signs around here that say, no trespassing, private property, violators will be prosecuted. And when I think about the church in America, a lot of churches will have an everyone welcome sign on the front, but often they don't mean it. What they mean is everyone that looks like us, that acts like us, that fits the way we think they ought to be, they are welcome. But if you come in wearing the wrong clothes, or with the wrong style of hair, or with the wrong political beliefs, or the wrong whatever, you're not really welcome and you're trespassing. You're entering our private property. We have created a style of, we'll call it church, that suits us, but it's not, we don't really want anybody that comes in and messes it up. And it's one of the reasons, not the only reason, but it's one of the big reasons why so many churches die and close their doors. It is because congregations quit being focused on the one thing. Jesus said, I came to seek and save those who were lost. That was his number one primary mission, was to seek and save those who were lost. And when we lose that, we wind up like this. We may still be meeting, but we are as empty as this church is. Now, here's one of the things I love about New Life. We are not in an abandoned community. We have houses all around us filled with people who need Jesus. 7 or 8 out of 10 people in Cabarrus County don't go to church anywhere, don't know the Lord. We have a ripe field for harvest. The second thing I love about our church is that we have people who are just looking us up on the internet and going, hey, I need to check this place out. This past Sunday, when we went to baptize at the YMCA, the lifeguard that was there, I was chatting with her afterward and we were talking about various things. She goes to a different church in the community. But one of the things she told me was, we have churches come here all the time to use this pool for baptism, but I've never seen a church like yours. One of the things that makes us unique is the multicultural, multi-ethnic aspect of our congregation. But the third thing I love about our church is that when people show up, they feel loved and cared for. Marilyn and I have only been there, it'll be 2 years in February. But that was before I ever had a conversation with Pastor Philip about his need for somebody to lead music. I sent Marilyn privately, quietly, to just show up and sit in a chair and participate. And she came back and said to me, man, I loved the Spirit of God there, and I loved the way people made me feel welcome. Now, unchurched people that don't know the Lord, they're not going to know how to experience the presence of God, but they are going to know how to experience the presence of you. And so I just want to affirm what we're doing. Worship is about loving God's people. It says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. We are doing that. And then loving your neighbor as yourself. And I think we're doing that too. Let's not get weary in well-doing. Let's keep pushing on and reach the community around us for the kingdom of Jesus Christ. Amen.